Well, I'm just heading out from my campsite, a paid campsite in Tennessee, I think. It's hard to tell because I keep going across the state lines. I'm in the little area between Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama, and it's been miserable. It was raining all night last night, but there's a little break in the clouds today. And I am going to Cloudland Canyon State Park, which I believe is on the Georgia side, not too far away. Gonna do some hiking, I hope. I'm back in the hills. The roads around my campsite were pretty flat, but when I got across to the Georgia side, the highway slithered up a hill like a snake. Oh, these roads really curve a lot. I'm glad I'm not in the back seat. It wouldn't be Cloudland, it would be Vomit Land. Fortunately, my breakfast stayed put, and I entered the park gate shortly. Now, I'm not camping here, but I just wanted to see what the campsite looks like. And there's two reasons I'm not camping here. One is the campground is completely full. You've got to reserve ahead of time. And it's way beyond my budget. I would not camp here unless I had to, but I wanted to see if you got good value for your money. It looks okay. There's a basic pad. I find the big RVs are a little close together for me, so yeah, I think I'll pass. Much prefer the little interstate campground I found instead. But now I know. Certainly if you've got a big RV and you are okay with spending a little bit of money, this is probably fine. Now, I've never been here, but it was highly recommended by Rick of Going Nowhere Fast. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to actually meet up here, but the weather became terrible, so we both canceled our plans. However, I definitely trust his recommendations. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this. Just gorgeous. This is awesome, Rick. Thank you. Cloudland Canyon is on the western edge of Lookout Mountain. The Waterfalls Trail is one of the most popular walks, but I first branched off that main trail to get a good perspective of the valley below. Seems it's all downhill from here. The cliffs are sandstone, with massive boulders hanging precariously off their face. Now when you mix sandstone and water, you get what every green thumb loves, a hanging garden. Yet these are just the warm-up plants, the first flowers and shoots of spring. And as the plants emerge, the forest floor starts to crawl. Look at this cute little guy. Or girl, whatever. Kentucky flat millipedes don't bite, but they do kinda tickle. Skinny legs and all. Now on a serious note, this is one little critter you don't want crawling on your skin. It's the notorious Lone Star tick, which can be found throughout the southeast U.S. Its bite can contain several diseases, including alpha-gal syndrome or AGS, that gives you a lifetime allergy to red meat. This is why I highly recommend thick pants and socks sprayed with permethrin or DEET when walking through these woods. The further I descend into the valley, the louder is the sound of falling water. After a dry summer, Daniel Creek is barely flowing, but during a wet spring, it is a raging torrent. Despite these flowers, the soil is very poor here and does not absorb moisture very well. This is why when it rains, the water really falls, hence the name Wet Weather Waterfalls. And one of the most dramatic ones is named Cherokee. Loud but magnificent! But I've saved the best adjectives to Hemlock Falls. Powerful, mesmerizing, spectacular. So what comes down must come up, at least if you want to get back to the parking lot. Well, my eyes gave stares at all the beauty. My feet get stairs as well, but to climb. Lots of stairs. After all that climbing, I needed a little cool down. That felt good. As for the name Cloudland, I feel it was named not because it was in the clouds, but because the way the clouds danced across the hills, painting shades and light across the horizon. And acting like a spotlight to show off its natural wonders. Now, of course, I like free trails, but having to pay $5 for this, I think is a really good investment. Wonderful park. If you can camp here, that would be even better. But I'm okay just making it a day trip. I'm sure you could spend a whole week here and it would be absolutely awesome. There's lots of things to see. But I just want a little taste of it for now. And yeah, I'm happy. Cloudland Canyon Park. Recommended. Well, that was a great walk, and I still had the good part of the day to explore more of Georgia's hills. But as I made my way to the exit, something unexpected happened. A UPS truck had stopped on the road. Seems there's one delivery he wasn't planning on. I was just about to leave Cloudland, and a tree fell across the road. I think it's the only way out, so I could be stuck here for a while. Seconds before, it had come crashing down, and the electrical wires came down with it. I think there's worse places to be stuck. And worse timing as well. If I'd been a little early, would I be squashed under it? Instead of just sitting and being patient, I thought I'd be clever and scout out an old service road as a way out. I normally wouldn't break the rules, but this is the only road. And, oh no. Look at this! Well, it's a wonderful plan, but it's locked. There is a house over there. Nobody answers, so turn back. Hopefully somebody's gonna saw up that tree and get it off the road. Eventually, a maintenance crew showed up and shut off the power to those downed lines. Well, I never thought I'd say it, but I love the sound of a chainsaw right now because they're cutting down that tree that's covered the only way out. Sit back, relax, let them do their work. After the chainsaw massacre, a cat pushed our fallen foe to the side of the road. A couple of hours later, I was on the road again. I guess it put the UPS driver behind schedule, but since I didn't have one, it didn't matter. Now, just of a note, one thing I do a lot of, especially in national parks and state parks, is I rarely camp in them, especially if they're a little beyond my budget. I camp near them. A lot of the times there are actually boondock sites, but even if it's just a little family campsite or a private one, you just camp there instead, and then you drive in and you just pay the day rate. Like for this place, it's $5 for a parking fee. And so, yeah, I save a lot. After a day in Georgia, it was a night in Tennessee. So this is the Marion campsite in Tennessee. It's right by the interstate, so it's a little noisy, but the price was right. And it's a great vantage point for the 3 states of Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Yesterday I did Georgia, today it's Alabama. Unfortunately for little Squeaky, he gets left alone today. For those that missed it, it's my trailer's name that's Squeaky. Welcome to Sweet Home Alabama. Sounds like a song. I'm outside of Cathedral Caverns, which is near Woodville, Alabama. It's a 0.8 mile cave. Looks like lots of fun. Alabama is a caver's dream come true, with over 4,200 caves so far discovered. Although Cathedral Caverns is more of a tourist site, it does at least give you a good introduction as to what the cave experience is like. The opening is huge, a natural entrance 126 feet wide and 25 feet high. As this is a guided tour, it means you have less freedom to explore, but it's also well lit and the path is easy and safe to walk on. Near the beginning of the tour is this massive column that's 45 feet high and 243 feet across at its base. The unique features are the result of a slightly acidic water dripping through the limestone cracks over millions and millions of years. The stalactites hang from the ceiling, while the stalagmites protrude from the ground. But enough talking, I'll let you experience the walk yourself. While never completely silent due to the constant dripping of water, even a distant voice gets amplified as it echoes through the acoustics of a hollow cavern. Now, a cave tour would not be complete without bats. Not many to see this time of year, as most of the tricolor bats are still in hibernation. But there are a lot of cave crickets, and they tend to be a little livelier as they search for food or a mate. Now here's something that's truly unique, for that black triangle on the roof of the cave is actually a fossilized shark's tooth. Now I didn't bring my best camera for this trip, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Now is the time to head back to the surface and to the noise and chaos of the above-ground world. I hope you enjoyed this video and will continue to follow me on my Southeast US travels. And if you'd like to hear of new releases, please hit the subscribe button. Happy trails!